What's going on? It's your boy Kev. Welcome to Hip Hop and Woke Shit. And we're gonna get into some woke shit today. It's not gonna be too long, because what I'm trying to say is pretty quick to the point. Point. So I do want to start off by just saying that we are about a day removed from the passing of a legend, a black king. I definitely want to give a big R.I.P to Chadwick Boseman. Definitely gone too soon. Still sad, still in shock. None of us knew what he was battling, dealing with, and to know that he still fought on to represent some of the, some of our heroes, and then also to just in general give us some of the best black art that we've had in theater. In my opinion, it's incredible. I shed tears. I shed real tears, and obviously the entire, people in general were affected, but especially in the black community, we were greatly affected. So that leads into what I want to talk about today, and that is the legacy of black men, and specifically our individual legacies. What will we be known for? There have been multiple situations where there was an instance of police brutality, and once the person passed, there might have been a few days of unanimous hatred for the system, and then after the dust sort of cleared, facts about that person's life have come out that have caused a lot of folks to not really want to champion them, or not want to use them as the the standard bearer for the moment, essentially, in the fight for justice and the fight for or against police brutality and white supremacy. The first one that I really remember starkly was Stephen Clark. I remember a lot of folks, mostly black women, sort of saying, no, we're not marching for this dude who wouldn't have marched for us. If you're anti-black, if you're harming women in the community, if you are, either with your words, with your actions, or what you stood for, we are not going to put our collective energy behind your name to, make you a martyr when, again, you wouldn't have done that for us. But I don't want to focus on that part of the conversation here. This is really aimed at brothers. This is something I've been thinking a lot about lately. What will we be known for individually? If something were to happen to me, I'd like to hope that the people that know me best, my wife, my kids, my in-laws, people that know me in the community, in the neighborhood, people that know me online, because my online family is just as important as my real life family. But yeah, what would those people say? What quote unquote skeletons would come out of the closet? What posts would people pull up, or, et cetera down the line? It's just something to think about, man. Something that we should really talk to our kids about, talk to the homies about. It's a lot of dudes out here running around with hella nasty skeletons in their closet. And in best case scenario, that stuff comes out while they're able to be held accountable for it. But sometimes it'll come out after death. And I've seen in some local situations with folks that I knew or just heard of, someone will pass, and then it's like, oh, well, they had a whole other family over here, or, they have some very bad accusations come against them after they pass. And, at that point, you're not in a position to fight back. It can be seen as very unfortunate, but ultimately, you have to be able to stand up for what you've done. And, just really in a reflective state right now, thinking about, when I pass, what will people say about me? I think that especially as you gain more money, gain a little bit more power, you begin to interact with more folks, move around. we don't always just think about the way we'll be viewed when we're gone. Going back to Chadwick Boseman, that's one of the amazing things about his life. You know, since he's passed, I've seen some conspiracy theorists making some wild claims, but there's been no way that anyone could slander this man's name. You know, he's gone, he's a legend, and there are no asterisks. You know, there have been other folks in the culture that have passed that, unfortunately, as much as we love them, like I have to mention Kobe. You know, Kobe was a personal hero of mine. I still mourn Kobe. It's been a crazy year, right? But, you know, as much as I love Kobe, and as much as I, you know, again, felt personally hurt, and, you know, a lot of people did as well, he has those asterisks, and he has those things that, you know, those indiscretions that, you know, make it hard to, for lack of better words, fully champion him. Especially if you're, you know, a woman, and you know that he had a rape case. You know, might be hard to just fully champion this person, and, you know, you might not want to at all. You might not want to at all. And there's definitely something to be said about, you know, I know some people put more, how can I say this? They put more, you know, they say you should respect the dead. You know, you should have addressed that while they were alive. And, you know, once someone's gone, they're gone, and you can't. I don't think that's true. You know, there's certain people that have done so much harm that, like Hitler, like fuck Hitler to this day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter if he's dead. Like, fuck his, I don't believe in souls and shit, but like, if they're real, fuck this motherfucker's soul. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say, you're going to get addressed. You know, you're going to leave a legacy. And speaking for myself to end here, I want to be known as loving. I want to be known as someone that cared about people, that cared about movements, that cared about, you know, fighting for those of us that have the least, whether that be, you know, tangible wealth, or just, you know, people in poverty, but also the least in terms of privilege, you know, the people in our community, and the world at large that needed a voice. You know, I don't want to be known as trash, straight up, and that's just something to think about. This video is, I promise I'm not going to go over 10 minutes here, but yeah, just really in a reflective mood right now, and really just wanting to get real with as many people in my life as possible. When I say get real, get in depth, tell people I love them, you know, and again, really thinking about harm that I may have caused. You know, I don't have anything in my history that will get me canceled once I pass. You know, nothing that will get me completely, you know, to my knowledge, I don't have anything in my past that someone would look at and say, you know, this motherfucker, like, fuck his death. If I was killed by the killer crackers, the police, you know, I don't think anyone would have any reason to not champion me. And this is kind of a record of that. You know, if something happens to me after this, look at this video. But anyway, I'm kind of rambling. It's been a rough weekend. It's been a rough weekend for sure. But again, just really has me thinking about my legacy, you know, the people I've impacted, and, you know, what I will be known as having stood for. So that said, thank you for watching, and just something to think about this week, man. What will you be known for? What's your legacy? Peace.